Hi, it's Wade from designwebidentity.com here, and we're just going through a few quick and easy steps to getting your first 1,000 Twitter followers today. So why 1,000 Twitter followers? Well, if you just started a website, it can be a good way just to get started, get people to know who you are by building your community, getting your name out, and just getting a little bit of initial traffic. It's just that base following, just to get that first little foot in the door. Ultimately, you want to let people know that you exist. But before we even get started with the strategy, the first thing you want to do is make sure you have a winning profile. So that means you want to have good colors and branding similar to your website. You want to get your ID image set up with a photo of you or a logo. You want a header image which works for you, and also you want to offer some interesting information. The reason you want this is because you want people to see your profile or a description or anything to do with your Twitter profile and think, well, this is someone I want to follow. So, first thing we want to do is to get started, we're going to head to tweepy.com. So this is the Tweepy website, so tweepy.com. This is the website, the tool we're going to use to follow certain people out there on Twitter, but we're going to target the people we want to follow. We're going to really refine the people we follow in order to increase the odds of them following us back and actually being interested in the things we're tweeting about and what we're putting on our website. So basically, we're going to first you have to sign up. You've got a few different options here. You can do a paid, or you can just try the free package down the bottom here. So they'll obviously, they're a business. They're going to try and make money out of you. So you can sign up and get all the extra features. But for now, we're just going to focus on the free. So we're going to click sign up here. Obviously, you have to create a new Tweepy account. And if you're logged into Twitter or not, either way, you're going to have to sign in using your Twitter authorization. So proceed to Twitter. I'm already logged in, so I'm just going to sign in. I've now been authorized. Then you're just going to fill out these forms here to go from there. So we'll just do that, and I won't show you the details I'm going to use. So once you've done that, simply click on Start Using Tweepy. So we're now in the so your account information has been successfully saved. That means your account is set up, or we can actually start doing something with this Tweepy account. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down. There's a few options there, as you can see. You can choose to flush out people who you are following but aren't following you back. This is something we'll get into later. There's a few handy little options here, but what we want to go to is follow followers. And because my website is generally about WordPress websites and that sort of thing, I'm just going to type in WordPress. But this is where you would type in someone similar to you on Twitter. So if you were tweeting about how to get fit or lose weight, you would find people who have very dedicated audiences on Twitter. You use their Twitter username. You can choose to put the @ symbol in there or not. It doesn't really matter. And you can actually bring up a list of their followers. So we'll just hit that, start following. As you can see, WordPress has 374,000 followers. We're going to scroll down, and these are the followers here. Before we start following these people, there are certain things we want to do to make sure we're targeting the right people to follow. So obviously, we don't want to just follow anyone. We want to follow people who are interested in the sort of things we're going to be talking about, our industry, niche, whatever you want to call it. So we want to make sure they're interested in what we have to say, and we want to make sure they're active so that we're not just getting a bunch of followers who are never going to be online, never see what we're doing. We also want to make sure there's a good chance they're going to follow us back. So those are our three factors. They need to be interested in what we have to say, active, and likely to follow us back. Okay, so this is where we start following people. Now, it's quite simple. We find a profile. If we follow them, then they're followed on our Twitter profile. And we're hoping these people then follow us back. So obviously, we've got those three factors. We want to make sure they're interested in what we're talking about. We want to know they're active, and we want to know if there's a chance of them following us back. So the way this would work is, for one, they're following WordPress, so we know they're going to be interested in WordPress. So if I tweet about WordPress, it's going to be relevant to what they're interested in. The second one is obviously how active they are. You can see here, last tweet. Now, we can't tell how frequently they tweet, but if someone tweeted 20 minutes ago, then at the moment, they're relatively involved in Twitter. But if we scroll down, you'll notice some people never tweeted, or 3 months ago. If someone hasn't tweeted for 3 months, there's no point in following them because they probably haven't been online for 3 months. So we definitely don't want to waste our time following people like that. The third thing, our third factor is we want to know if they're going to follow us back. So there's nothing here that'll give us that information. So what we want to do is find out how likely it is they'll follow us back. We want them to, because a lot of people out there in Twitter, like what we're about to do here, which is a very, very basic strategy, is we're going to follow people and hope they follow us back. So how do we know that? Basically, we can go to columns and turn on follow ratio. I'm going to click on the top to sort by follow ratio. Someone with a low follow ratio means that there are less people following them back. So obviously this person here has 15 followers and a ratio of 12%. That means that they probably have about 70 or 80 people they are following, and only 15 people are following them. So generally speaking, they are following people and not getting followed back as much, but they could still follow you back. If the ratio is closer to 100, which it's sort of still pretty broad around there, that means that the people they're following, probably a majority of them have followed them back, vice versa. However, if they've got a ratio of 1,000, that means that they are getting lots of people. This person here is getting a lot of people following them, but he is not following them back because he has a much higher ratio. He has 49,000 followers, so he's probably only following 4,000 people himself. So if I were to follow this person, the chances of him following me back are very slim. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the people closest to 100%. We'll say 114%. We'll follow this person. 74%. It's not quite as high as I'd like, but I'll still follow this person. And we're going to go through there. And as you can see, most of the people here are actually been quite active. So I'll follow this person. Follow that person. So if we get up to someone who hasn't followed for 3 months, hasn't tweeted for 3 months, we're not going to follow that person. You get the idea from there. So we want to make sure that they've been on within at least the last, 3 or 4 days, and also that their ratio is, I guess, between about 30 and maybe 120%. So you can think about those two numbers for you. So obviously within the last 4 or 5 days, and 30 to 120%. It's very broad, but it seems to work for me. That's how I built my first 1,000 follower base on Twitter for Design Web Identity, just to get the name out there. So to recap on that, you want to spend about 10 minutes a day. It takes just going through and following the right people. Try different people's followers, that sort of thing, and you just want to make sure they've been active in the last 4 or 5 days. They have a follow ratio of 30% to 120%. You can go tighter, try maybe 80 to 110%, but you'll probably get similar results. And just make sure that you keep tweeting interesting information so that you are active and people see you as being an active Twitter user. But just remember that not everyone is going to follow you back. So you want to unfollow those who don't. So this is how we'll go about that. Okay, so obviously now we need to start unfollowing a few people because we're starting to follow more people than are following us back, because not everyone's going to follow us back. So we're going to scroll up to the top, head back to my dashboard, and you'll see we've got some more options down here. We've got flush. So like we were saying, we want to get on here probably, once a week and just try and remove the people we are following who aren't following us back. So as you can see here, these people I've only just followed, so I won't actually unfollow them yet. But you can see this is generally from newest to oldest. So what I want to do is I want to go to the very end. I'm going to start unfollowing from the last page. So I can actually unfollow this person, unfollow, unfollow, because they haven't followed me back and I'm trying to help build my audience. So that's just one simple way of doing it. Just unfollow as you go. And I would probably recommend, maybe if you're going to do this daily, 20 to 30, but if you're going to do it one big hit, I probably wouldn't go over 40 or 50 unfollows. Twitter is very particular about stopping people from just mass following and mass unfollowing people, but it's a very simple tool just to bring up people who you are following and aren't following you back, and you can simply go through each page and unfollow people. You'll notice as you click a button, the browser moves up automatically, so you click unfollow, and then it's in place for the next one. You can simply click, 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 and you'll naturally go through and unfollow without actually even having to move your mouse. So just keep on doing that. It's a simple case of rinse and repeat. You follow your 30, 40, 50 people a day, and then once you find you're starting to get too many people who you've followed and haven't followed you back, then go through and unfollow them, even if that takes a couple of days, and just simply back and forth. Go from follow to unfollow. But make sure you keep tweeting, be active, have an active profile so people want to stay connected with you and hear what you have to say. And you'll get to your 1,000 followers in no time. It takes anywhere from a couple of weeks to a month. It's really quite simple. But I do have one final request. If you found that interesting, please log onto Twitter and follow me. My user ID is designwebid, or you can just go to twitter.com/designwebid to see my profile. If otherwise, find us online at designwebidentity.com. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/designwebidentity. Any questions, please feel free to jump on any of those platforms and just send me a message and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching my video. Hope you found it useful. See ya.